What is going on, guys? DBG here. Today we're going to be talking about something that is kind of interesting, and it's going to be a little bit more of a positive video, and it's also going to be talking about why I hate my team so much right now and why it's kind of me against the world in terms of the MyTEAM, quote unquote, the MyTEAM Twitter community, because the attitude towards people that are watching YouTube videos and people coming into the mode and people that play the mode, especially because I live with two guys that play quite a bit 2K, not to the level that I do, but like they're there just grinding their domination or grinding the game offline just out of boredom, things like that. Like, looking historically through the MyTEAM game mode, there is a meta. There's always been a meta. But there's always been like different things that have kind of helped the mode, like post up Gary Harris back in the day, freaking Gerald Green, Zach Levine. Well, they weren't meta guys. Like, these just random players turned out to be gods. People using Sinful R. We've got that, but this is going to be a more video about why I personally like my team, why I've really enjoyed my team, and it's not about my team this year. And the reaction to this card kind of sums it up. And the same with the reaction to why, like, the Chuck Person card. Because the essence of why a lot of people enjoy my team is like completely different to what people think. I can guarantee you every single comment here is going to be angry. Carry me 2K20 is like, okay, yeah, fair. He's going to be good. He's fast and trash. I wish it was this. 2K's trolling. Gross. What's the point? Why are takeover players? Because, well, usually they always are. It's like, what's the point? They're trolling. But like, if you look at this card, he's a decent defender, bad enough interior, but again, look, if you're getting, even if he had 99 interior, he's 6'1", so he's getting his head mashed in. Can't dunk it, but he's the quickest player in the game, can shoot the ball with a pretty decent release. So he's pretty fine. He's fine. And cards like this, I'm having so much more enjoyment playing my team the last week than I have all year. And if you guys have been watching my channel, the cards that I'm enjoying using, Ruby Keldon Johnson. In terms of the Nightmare packs, sure, Anthony Simons is an absolute beast. Sure, these guys are beasts. But like, I still prefer using Rajat Bell. Because, I don't know. I don't even know why it is. Chuck Person's been a beast. Like, I kind of like these these grindable cards. And I'm trying to always think, I'm like, why do I think that specific grindable content, always kind of going for something, is what I like doing in the game? Because it's the thing that I really enjoy doing. And I try and think back to like my team back in the day when I used to have fun when I was a kid. I used to absolutely love just constantly using new players. I would constantly change my team. I used every single Onyx card in that game. I would use every cheap player. When I used to play FIFA, I would only exclusively use like 35k squads, and I would change my team every couple of days. I remember there was a stage, I didn't even complete the damn Halloween. I just realized I didn't complete the Halloween stuff, which is, I mean, it's kind of my own fault, but it doesn't really matter. I used to always use like different teams. I would have like 10 different budget squads instead of saving all up. Instead of saving up all my coins and getting a way better squad, I used to use like 10 different budget squads because depending on how I felt, I'd use different ones. I'd have so many different squads changing, using so many different players. And a lot of people used to call me crazy, but it was the way I enjoyed playing the game. And I feel like that way of playing the game is a way that a lot more people enjoy than it seems. Just constantly being able to use different cards. And the more I think about it, and someone actually gave a great analogy, and when I look back on it, it's exactly, I think it is very much why I like the game. I like the concept of card collecting modes. Even though I'm someone that is heavily against gambling, I like the concept of card collecting modes. Because I grew up playing Pokemon. Like, that was the game. That was the game that got me into video games. The first game I played as a kid. Some of my first memories are watching the TV show or getting my first Game Boy Advance when I was like 5 years old and playing the living hell out of Pokemon Crystal. Not having a clue what I was doing, not knowing anything, and just using a bunch of random Pokemon and then picking 5 that I liked and getting through the game. But obviously, that's what I had the most fun doing with. That was the most fun video game experiences I've ever had, was that. But on the flip side, there's nothing wrong with, for example, if you're playing with the original Pokemon, going into Route 1, picking Squirtle as your starter, getting Nidoking, and beating Brock with Squirtle, and then evolving your Nidoran, getting the Moonstone, evolving him to Nidoking, and abusing X-Accuracy's Horn Drills, Thrash, abusing them throughout the entire game to basically run through it as easily as possible in a way that you basically can't lose. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the meta. That is the equivalent of going in 2K with this squad right here. I don't even know which is this my best squad? Like, for example, I put Ray Allen in this team, and then I go and get myself a Jimmy and run with these God squads. That's the equivalent of going into a game with a God squad. You can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. And you can run through your opponents easier like that. But there's something to be said about this. A mishmash of players. Like, a lot of people are saying these guys suck. Man, I run Jaren Jackson. Not Jaren Jackson Jr., Jaren Jackson. Because I just tried a bunch of random players from like random sets that nobody is talking about that are like, oh, these guys suck. And I'm using them and I'm having a lot of success and a lot of fun with these guys. And it feels so much better. I have so much more fun losing with these guys than I do winning with these guys. And it just adds so much more fun into the game mode of MyTEAM, because the essence of what a lot of people, the essence of it is like card collecting modes in these have a lot of the player base that is essentially, it's the same logic. It's the same logic. Like, card collecting modes are about collecting cards. You want to collect as many cards, you want to use them all. How many of you guys that play Pokemon as a kid went into, I don't know, you evolved your Pidgey to a Pidgeot, despite the fact that in reality, it didn't help you? If you played the original Pokemon games, the best thing you can always do is just run through the game with Nidoking. Everything that you did, like for everyone that's saying, oh, why would you ever use these cards? Why would you ever use Tiny Archibald? Why would you ever go into a new Pokemon route and find a new Pokemon and decide, I'm going to go and use this, see if it's any good. I'm going to collect them all. I'm going to catch them all. And I'm going to use them all in battle. And I'm going to try see if I can win the game like this. I'm going to then pick up like a party of my favorite Pokemon and go and win. Like, you hear it a lot of time from people like talking back. It's like they almost have like personal attachments to that, to the Pokemon that they basically leveled up and got them better. And it's the same logic with MyTEAM. If you're out here using just players you like the most fun way of playing this game, and I'm sorry, it is for me, is just constantly trying to get new cards and being oblivious to the database. Like, it's great. The database is great. If you want to find the best players, go for it. Trust me on that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to go out there and find the best players, there's nothing wrong with that. But the guys that want to just constantly find better and better and better, it's impossible to do that. The guys complaining about a Tiny Archibald. You know what, lads? Complaining about a Tiny Archibald is like complaining about Caterpie not being good enough. Or Caterpie evolving into Butterfree. It's an easy evolve. Getting Caterpie to level 10 to evolve to Butterfree is pretty damn easy. It's pretty damn easy. Just like a requirement to get Tiny Archibald is going to be pretty damn easy. And you know what? At the end of it, you get like a Butterfree that might be kind of fun. You might end up using it for a little bit longer if you're having success, if you're having fun with it, or you might toss it to the side when something new comes in. When you go to your next route and find a new Pokemon, you're like, you know what? I would rather have this one than my Butterfree. And that's the way that this Tiny Archibald is. For some people, you're going to completely ignore it because you're going just for the meta, and that's fine. For a lot of people, though, this is almost like these new cards being put into the game is like when you hit a new route in Pokemon and a new Pokemon you've never seen before comes up. And then you just go and you're like, okay, I'm going to catch this no matter what. I'm going to grind for Night Archibald no matter what. And at the end of the whole situation, you can either upgrade them if they're not good enough, or if you like them, you can keep them. But the purpose of MyTEAM is team building. It is not this competitive, ultra competitive game mode, and it can't be that. Especially because there's no competitive mode in it. Like, if there was like a side mode, like 250k is competitive. If you're looking to compete for 250k, ignore everything I'm saying. But MyTEAM was at its most fun when we didn't know. It was. And like, you can say, oh, I'm the like worst person because I'm a big reason why the database is what it is. Because there's benefits to knowing. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's benefits to saying Nate Tiny Archibald is not going to be as effective in game as Anthony Simons. That's fine. That is perfectly fine to say because it's factually correct. But I believe it's also perfectly fine to say Nate Tiny Archibald is going to be an easy grind. If you like card collecting, if you like using new cards, if you want to just have a little bit of fun with a point guard, if you're new to the game, he's a great backup for him and Anthony. He's way better than Terry Rozier, so him and Anthony Simons could be a good duo. If you want to use an all-time great player, instead of using a dude who's current, you can go and get him. If you're a person who just likes using diamonds, because again, like, someone might catch, I don't know, you might just randomly catch like a random level 50 Pokemon, and you see it's level 50 compared to a level 30 that you've raised yourself of an OP meta Pokemon, but you might still just say, oh, I want to use them because they're level 30. And if you want to walk in oblivious and just be like a freaking overall snob and just use cards that are higher overalls, go for it, man. Have success, use who you want to use, get who you want to use. Every card does not have to be the meta. There can only be so many Mewtwo's. There can only be so many Rayquazas. There can only be so many meta cards. If every single card was built solely for the meta, then we might as well call every card Mamerto. They might as well all be the same. And that's the one thing I'm going to push this year is I'm going to be using as many different cards. I'm going to be using every card. This isn't a case of I'm just going to use comp cards. This isn't a case of, like, when I'm talking about cards, some cards will suck. Objectively, cards suck in this game. But if you have fun using a card that sucks, it's fine. Saying that a card sucks is not saying that, like, there's no value in the card being in the game. Like, saying that this card is not very good is fine, but saying this card is not very good, we need longer grinds for better cards. We don't. We already have those long grinds. We already have plenty of them. We already have the trophy case. We already have level 40 for Booker. It's pretty nice. We already have the Friday grinds if you really want them. The way MyTEAM has been this year has taken away, I think, some of the best things in this game mode. The most joy I have in this game mode, playing this game, is just finding random ass cards and going out with them. And like, I might be one of the minority that likes that does like that. I'm in a minority. I'm in a small percentage of the player base like that. And I don't think that 2K should suddenly just start giving us a load, like, just random cards for absolutely no reason. But I like when there is. And I think that the percentage of people that the percentage of people that like comp community, or basically the comp community, I can guarantee is smaller than the percentage of people that have the mentality of me. Like, I am ultimate casual. My mentality towards this game, I'm really freaking good at this game, by the way. Like, I'm really good. I don't care what people say. Like, I'm 5-1 with this team. Like, going into Unlimited. Like, come on. Not many people can do that. But I'm an extreme on the opposite end. I don't think the game in general should be built for either extreme. I feel like throughout the first season and a half, the game was built for the opposite extreme. And I don't feel like the game should be built for the other extreme. But I do feel like there's a way of making content. There are people that are going to be really happy with the Tuesday grinds. There are people that are going to be unhappy. I think the amount of people that are going to be happy with them probably is a little bit higher. I think that there's some sort of a middle ground that 2K can find. Because I actually don't think that building the entire game in an image of what I want is beneficial. I don't think, like, I am the most casual of casuals. Like, I would make casual players seem like they're casual players. Like, I don't give a damn, really. Like, I will tell, like, my job is to tell people if cards are good or not. And I will always do that. I'll always do players. I'll tell you guys what cards do good, what cards do bad, because that's what people need to hear. But in terms of if I'm not recording content, I just use a random ass set of players. Like, I am the most casual player in this community. And I think building a game for someone like me to enjoy does not end well. Does not end well. But I also think that there are ways that you can bring in those type of maybe slightly less extreme casuals than me. There's a middle ground, which I think 2K are coming more towards, where they are still helping out these, like, they're giving us better budget options, giving us better mid-tier options. They're starting to kind of give us something for everyone. Like, these moments cards are going to bring in NBA fans. Budget cards and packs are going to keep guys that want to play a little bit of meta but want budget cards in. The expensive cards are going to keep those top guys paying money, keeping them playing the game. The mid-tier guys who are kind of advancing past Amethyst are now having cards that they want. Like, when you go from, say, an Amethyst, let's just say Robert Ory, probably the next, if you're, say, with 30 KMT, and suddenly you can get that, now make him a Michael Porter Jr., it's better for them. I think my team is going in a better direction. And I said it in all of my videos where I was criticizing this mode. And you might be saying, it was only this day last week where you were going nuts. And I'm like, oh, it's changed. Since last Thursday, we have gotten content every single weekday. We had a really good Halloween event. And we had again, a pretty easy Tuesday grind today. A moments card yesterday. I would be wrong to not make this video explaining why I like what's happening, as well as explaining a little bit of what I enjoy about my team, why I enjoy my team, and giving an analogy to a similar game where the mentality of I'm going to use my favorite Pokemon is a lot more accepted than in my team of I'm just going to use my favorite players. Because there is a meta in every game. Whereas sometimes it's more understandable to just use your favorites in some situations. Whereas in the MyTEAM community, we've made it almost like taboo to say, I just want to have fun. And yeah, and I also feel like as someone that will call out the people making the decisions. And again, I don't know exactly who's making the decisions. When I'm saying 2K, I don't know who it is. I don't want to call out any individual who's making a decision because it might be someone else's decision. I would be an absolute hypocrite if I was to make videos ranting, complaining when things are going badly, without making this type of video when things are going okay from what I've seen. When things are starting to get better, I feel it's as important to talk about the good steps that are being taken in the mode as it is to talk about what I deem to be bad things happening in the mode. Because at the end of the day, I'm just one person. I'm giving my opinion. I'm not gonna, in the grand scheme of things, does my opinion hold any more weight than someone else's? No. But I know for a fact that my opinion does hold more weight internally than just a random person's. So I feel like it's in the best interest of anyone that I give my opinion. Please leave in the comments if you guys disagree. Don't go out there attacking me. And if you disagree with some of the comments, don't attack them. This is a game mode. At the end of the day, having open discussion about this game mode is more beneficial than it being a closed shop. And I do feel like, obviously, I know for a fact, my videos and plenty of other people's videos are being watched by a dev team who do care. I just don't think they always make the right decisions, but they clearly care and they're clearly trying. And even though making videos like this, and as well as making angry videos, making videos giving my opinions on the game almost unfiltered, clearly isn't putting me in a great spot internally with the company. But at the same time, I do think that it is more beneficial for the game mode in the grand scheme of things, to not have to really worry, give my entire opinion, as well as just seeing how people are reacting. Because having an open discussion about this game mode, the goods, the bads, what things do, what things are good, what things are bad, is an awful lot better than not having an open discussion and leaving feedback only to the 1%, which is what I feel happened going into NBA 2K23. It was a game that was made to keep players on as much as possible without taking into account getting players in. It was there to keep the hardcores on as long as possible without getting players in or keeping casual players there, which I think was just completely misguided. But it's getting better. It's getting better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys agree, disagree, it doesn't really matter. A bit of a ramble, but it is what it is.